The sun is keeping going in and out, so we are just going to go and roll with it. Only finished objects for today. Some of them are for me, some of them are not. One of them is not. Let's just be reasonable. And I'm gonna keep the work in progress that I'm working on, all of the projects I'm working on, for a later video, because I already have 4 finished objects, so I don't want the video to be too long. So hello everyone, welcome or welcome back to my very small place on the internet where I talk about my knitting life, my knitting adventures. My name is Isabelle. I am in Normandy, in an ever light-changing Normandy as per usual. And today it's going to be a video where I'm going to show you only the 4 finished objects I have, because I have multiple works in progress, which is not typical of me. I usually have 1 or 2, but I had, as I was feeling a bit better health-wise, I wanted to cast on everything, and I still have 1 to cast on. So if that is of any interest to you, please stay tuned. Okay, first things first, as we are a knitting channel, what am I wearing? I'm gonna start with the top so that I can take them out and you will see the sweater. The first thing I'm wearing, and I knit that some time ago. I knitted between April 2023 and April 2024, almost a year. It's the Powder Puff Cowl. I just looked and I forgot the designer. By Branca Medlock. The pattern and the yarn was a gift by one of the lovely youths from Australia, Rosemary. And if it took me that long to knit that cowl, it's because none of it was difficult. None of it was very difficult. The difficulty led into knitting single-stranded mohair at a bigger gauge on a very lacy pattern. And if I did not want to make any mistakes, it was very tedious and difficult. I had stitch markers everywhere. I did start that project several times around, and before I found, some kind of a technique for me to double check myself and not make any mistakes. But anyway, it took me a year. I think it's one of my longest projects. I absolutely love it. I love the lace. I love the feeling. It's very light and very warm. And this turquoise is just perfect. And as one of you said, it's like if the 2 of them were meant to be wearing, to be together and to be worn together. My little cowl with a hood is Moff Moff. So Moff Moff I knit this year, also with yarn that I got from another one of the lovely youths from Australia. It's La Bien-Aimée Merino Decay and her mohair, which is soyeux, in the Vespa and Vespa Graffiti colorways. And I just took a full bowl of Merino Decay from La Bien-Aimée. I have very, very little left. I weighed it out and I've not been able to weigh it because on my own kitchen scale it's less than 1 gram. And for the mohair, I use half a skein. And the mohair is 50 grams, so I used half a skein. So Moff Moff, I have been starting to be using it with this sweater because when I made it, I already had in mind to wear it with Vabeline by Jessica Gore. I also knitted this year. So Moff I knitted between the 8th of June and the 11th of June of this year, 2025. And Sovabeline, I started on the end of February 2025 and I finished it the middle of June 2025. And it's with rare Swiss wool that one of you sent me. Thank you once again so very much. And the pattern, you gifted me the pattern because you already knit that sweater and you enjoyed the pattern and the sweater together. So Vabeline is originally designed with rare Swiss wool in that, you know, undyed and natural colorway. So the rare Swiss wool is, I think it's either 70 or almost 70, 67% rare Swiss wool and 33% merino, so almost. And I really enjoy it, and as it is sweater weather in Normandy, we've had a very cold week last week with hail, heavy hail, sometimes mixed with snow. There was snow in France in areas that are not the mountains, and there was snow in Paris with a lot of, you know, trouble on the roads, with the trains, with the planes. So as it was sweater weather, I said perfect weather to start wearing my winter sweaters. And so Vabeline is one of them, and I don't think you've ever seen me wear it, and it's one of the first, not for first time today that I'm wearing it, but the colder weather was the first time for me to take it out and wear it. And the little cat, you know, that you've seen, I think, last week, is also by one of the lovely use. So I'm going to put my cowls and my hood again to start the video. Okay. My finished objects, and I also want to point out, because I forgot, so the little earrings I'm wearing, which are also a present by one of the lovely use. So I think I'm gonna go from the one I finished first. And the one I have finished first, and that you have already seen as a work in progress, is the Gujo Collar. Gujo Collar by Caroline, I'm gonna write her name because I'm gonna butcher her name anyway. Caroline, and from Khione, which I knit with some very deep stash cocoon Aran weight wool, which is a bit heathered, and I had 3 skeins of that and 3 skeins of a much deeper and homogeneous blue, dark blue, and which I preferred, but I decided to gift the 3 skeins to one of you for their birthday, for your birthday, and I kept the heathered one, the one that I liked the least. So Gujo, you've already seen me knit that for my sister-in-law, and I had said I need one for myself. It's half fisherman ribs, and this one was closer to gauge to the original one that Caroline Khione designed, and I think I followed the pattern about as it was designed. So it's sort of a dicky. Do you call that a dicky? With the back piece that is a bit shorter than the front piece, which I like because that means you have also less bulk. I'm not sure how I can put this one flat. There you go. And because with my wrists it's very difficult for me to, you know, mess around in my back with the way my wrists are now. A longer front, a shorter back, this very dark blue. I think I made it to measurements. I'm not sure I can place it over my head, but I can at least place it over my ears. You know, with the hat it will be perfect. That big collar that I like a lot. I like the way it looks, the way it feels. Fisherman ribs are very plump and very squishy. It's the same kind of stitch as brioche without it being brioche, and this one is half fisherman, so you need one below only every other row. But anyway, I absolutely love the way it looks. It's very, very, very warm, even though Cocoon is superwash yarn, and superwash is not that warm, but on top of the sweater I'm already feeling extremely warm. So I'm very happy about that. It's gonna go with everything in my wardrobe. I have two dark blue coats, not wool coats, it's more technical coats, but technical fabrics which are very windproof and waterproof. One of them is just that shell, and it's quite long to cover under my body, under my knees, because I once got completely soaked under heavy rain, and I said never again. Never again. So I bought a good one that is covering up under my knees. So this one, and it's just a very thin layer, but it's windproof and waterproof. And I have a shorter one that is a bit more puffy, not with wool, with, plasticky materials anyway, but it's also very, very warm, and it's much shorter. It's about half of my thighs. It goes about half of my thighs. And my dark blue wool coat, I'm not fitting in it any longer. So I will wear that with these two coats, perfect. And also at home and inside, and I really love the color, and the heather part, the fact that it's not homogeneous. At first I prefer the other one, but now that it's finished, I like it. I like the way the increases or decreases are made. Yeah, you have increases for what is on your shoulders to make a flat part for the shoulders. You have nice decreases to make the bottom and the front, the bottom of the front and the bottom of the back. I love everything about that pattern. I highly recommend it. It's very well described. You have a schematic that shows you where all the stitch markers are relative to the shoulder parts, the front, the back, and for making the increases or the decreases. I love increases and decreases in fisherman rib. I love the way it looks. I like that. I like this kind of slanting stitches that go, wherever they need to go for, more stitches or less stitches. Anyway, my first finished object that I have not been wearing really that much, because I've been wearing Muff a lot, and I love it. I love the turquoise, the happy blue type of color. So, but I'm gonna be wearing, the color very soon, and because the weather is not, we are not going to go towards warmer weather that soon. So yeah, first good one. Okay, second one is Lewsky. I'm not sure how to pronounce that. Of course, I will write it down below. And it's by Khione and Sachiko Berging. And it's from their book, Moon and Turtle. Yes, Moon and Turtle. And there are many patterns in that book that I want to make. It's the first one that I'm making, because I thought I did make the little beret, but it's from Khione Berging, but it's not from that book. I had that mixed up in my head. And Lewsky is a hood. I'm gonna place pictures because I think it's gonna be easier for you to see. But anyway, there is one way you can make an inside piece that can go up of the lower part of your face when you are in very, very, very cold weather. I did not do that, because Normandy it's not that cold, and also because I thought if I want to do that, I will add the piece afterwards, and I've just placed Moth back on, and I should not have because I want to show you Lewsky. So I used the yarn that my son brought me from his trip in Ireland. I paid for it, and this color is very strange because when I look at it at the outside and the natural light, it looks very green to me, more green than blue. But what the camera of my telephone is picking up is something that is very blue. So I'm not sure. It looks blue. You know, if I go closer, I think you can see some of the green that I'm talking about. And it has a speckles. Speckles, light yellow and darker blue speckles that you may see around here. Darker blue speckles and bright yellow speckles, and some of them are either just faint yellow ones or green ones. Anyway, I used over the skein, yes, I used just under 1.2 skeins, so that's 236 grams of the Kerry woolen meal, the Aran weight wool, and it's 200 grams. The skeins are 200 grams. So I still have almost one skein left, and I kind of know what I want to be doing with it. And I used, let me see again because I just forget, 4.5 and 5 millimeter needles. And if I recall correctly, these were the needles that were recommended in the pattern. Yes, these were the needles recommended in the pattern. I was not quite on gauge, so I choose, I think, the smallest size because I was at a bigger gauge. I'm not even sure there is a size. Yeah, I use the middle size. I use the second size. I need the second size. Anyway, Lewsky, it's a very thick hood. It's gonna be very warm. So you start at the base. You start here with the provisional cast on. So you need enough to be folding over, and then you need the temporary stitches with your current stitches, and you need up to the face opening, and then you shape the hood with decreases that are a bit like a sock heel and short rows. So once you've done all of the shaping, when you've shaped all of the hood, you pick up stitches, so you stop, and then you pick up stitches to make the border. And you pick up stitches, and then you knit as a double layer piece to knit that part, and you graft it at the end. And what they say, let me show that to you. Yes, you graft it at the end. And what they say is after you graft it, you make a cord. So they've used different colors. I was very undecided if I was going to make a cord with the same color, a different color, and if a different color, which one. And as I wanted to have the hood go with more things, I thought that if I was going to make a different colored cable here, it may be more restrictive, maybe not, I'm not sure. But anyway, the cable I can always change if at some point I want to change it. And they give you the recipe to make the little holes to feed the cable after you've grafted the two double knits here, the double knitting around the face. And I was thinking it's not going to be easy because this is a bigger cord that I've made by twisting my yarn, the way we used to do as when we were kids. This is what they say to do. And I was thinking it's going to be quite difficult. I mean, I can put it on a safety pin and thread it through, but it's going to be difficult. So what I did is place the cord before I graft the opening of the hood to close it down, and then I had, you know, my cord go out of these two little holes, and then I finished the grafting. I washed it, I just let it dry out flat, and once again, I absolutely love it. It is extremely warm. It's quite rustic, I would say. It's a very dry and rustic wool. So you have the hood here, and then you can place it over your head, and then you can adjust, you know, the tension here with the little cord so that the hood is fitting you quite well. It sits on the shoulders quite well too. Maybe if I like on the Gujo Collar the fact that you have a front and a back and space for the shoulders so that it doesn't bunch up in the back. But the hood is short, so I guess it's okay. And here, you know, you have the hood, and once again, a very satisfying knit, a knit where there is also someone else to remember. My son brought me the wool from his trip in Ireland, and I absolutely love it too. I'm going to say that about everything, that I absolutely love it. But it is very true. And you know, Moff is a true light turquoise. I'm not sure if it's a teal, if it's a turquoise, if it's a blue. On camera it looks very blue. In person it looks quite green. Anyway, whatever. One of these jewel tones that I like. Okay, next finished object. Khione. I'm not even sure I've showed it as a work in progress. Same for Lewsky or Lewsky. I'm not sure I've showed it. I'm sorry I did not watch my videos again. So Khione, I was certain was going to be my birthday cast on for two reasons. First, the yarn was brought to me by one of you, but I'm not sure she watched the videos. She is one of my local knitting friends here that we meet in person. And she brought that yarn from the Knit It in Lyon, where she went when I was in the hospital. And the yarn that she brought me was from La Ferme du Beau, and it's the Joyeuse in this absolutely beautiful, very bright blue colorway, and I paired it, there is a plain, and I paired it with some leftover silk mohair from Lang that one of you sent to me when you sent the very blue Nutiden yarn to pair with it. And I had about a skein left in my stash, so I used 0.72 skeins of mohair, which is 270 meters, and I have another mohair fiber in my mouth, and I used 0.7 skein of La Ferme du Beau, so that's about 284 meters. For the fingering weight. Khione is, I had seen when it came out. When it came out, I said, okay, I want to make that hat. And the same person, the same friend bought the pattern for me. She's very nice. I just bought a pattern for her also for her birthday. And Khione is made with that deep stitch motif that you have, that I've already knit with the Sorel sweaters. I've knit 3 of them. I love the deep stitch here. And when I saw the pattern, when it first came out, I think I caught up on the first page of the new project or the new patterns released on Ravelry. So it was as soon as Natasha Hornby posted it, and I guess it was meant to be. And I placed it in my favorites and also in my wish list. So when she said, okay, I want to buy you a pattern for your birthday, she said, which one? And I said, okay, this one is going to be my birthday cast on with the yarn you brought me from Knit It. So that would be nice. A very cushy hat. So let's see, this one is very blue. Is that blue or green? Let's take the internet in a storm to decide if this one is blue or this one is green. You see, it's more green than blue. Anyway, this one is very blue, a bright blue, and blues and reds and such colors are very difficult to catch on camera. But anyway, and that deep stitch motif I liked very much. I said, okay, it's for me. But what I also liked is the very clever, I was to say unusual, no, clever construction. You start to knit, and of course I have still, I clipped my ends after, but I like to leave some kind of a longer end. So you start in the inside. You start with 1 by 1 rib, but then you start on this side because the first part you need that deep stitch part, and then you knit another 1 by 1 section, and you finish with a deep stitch for the crown and with the diminishes and stuff like that. And when you fold it, the first deep stitch section is going to be on top of the hat, and you are going to have 3 layers on your ears. The first 1 by 1 rib and the second 1 by 1 rib. It is so pleasant. The crown is very nice too. The diminishes, I like the diminishes and the increases in, half fisherman. I also like a fisherman rib. I also like the ones in with that very particular deep stitch pattern, which is a bit different from the one in the Sorel. And you see my camera is very unhappy. Sometimes it shows it very bright blue. Sometimes it shows it a bit more dull blue. Anyway, so perfect. I absolutely love it. It's the perfect weather to wear it because it's cold. It's a bit warmer today, but it's very damp. It's been raining. The sun is out, the sun goes down, and when the sun disappears behind the clouds, it's quite cold, and the humidity makes it even colder and more difficult to stand. I am so happy with this hat. I'm considering knitting another one. Will I knit another one? I don't know. The white one from the sample from Natasha Hornby. I'm very tempted, but white for a beanie when you have some kind of makeup or you have SPF, sun blockers and stuff like that are going to make it all yellow at this part of the border. I'd rather have the colored hat. So I'm double guessing myself. Do I knit another one in white or not? When I say yes, immediately I say no. It's going to be impossible to clean. So anyway, we'll see what I do, but I really enjoy this one. I know Lisa, and I'm going to link the Ravelry thread down below. Lisa made a post in my community section on Ravelry because when she saw the beanie, so I'm also going to link her YouTube channel. She's Soulful Spinning. She makes beautiful video I really like, and I really enjoy to listen to her. Even I haven't seen videos from her in quite some time, But sometimes the algorithm plays tricks on even your subscription feed. So I need to see if she has posted anything recently. But she said she really enjoyed it, and she posted a thread in the community tab in my Ravelry group to start a little mini knit-along for people who would like to knit Khione. So if you are so inclined and so enticed to knit Khione, please post in this little thread on Ravelry, and we can all share our tips and our progress and the finished objects. Anyway, another perfect color for me, I think. Don't you think so? And then, talking about of colors that I think are made or not made for me, and if I can have a little tangent, one of my local yarn stores hosts from time to time a lady who does coloring and color fitting and stuff like that, color theory. And I've always been a bit hesitant to do that because, one, I think in the end you wear what you like, whether the official color police says it fits you or not. And also because I was a bit confused about all of the color theories and the seasons and the depth and what spring and autumn are is the opposite of what the depth of color should be in my mind. And so I'm okay, I agree to go with the chart and the rules, but it's a bit counterintuitive to me. This lady, you can choose a starter program that is quite short, and she tells you cool or warm and which kind of colors suit you best, and you leave with a card with your colors by placing colors under you and everything. The same thing, but she doesn't go with the seasons. She goes with cool and warm, with bright and more mellow or duller colors, and other little different things, but she doesn't go with the seasons, or she doesn't label her end result with the seasons. And I'm very tempted to do it. So she has a starter program and she has a longer program. But if you take the starter program and you decide to go for the longer one, she deduces what you've paid already for the starter program. So the starter program, none of this is expensive compared to what I've seen online. The starter program is 40 euros and the whole program is 90 euros. And there is another friend who wants to be doing it, but she's also hesitating, and we can go together. She accepts two friends to go together and do the program, each one on their own, but together at the same time. So I may do that. All of that to say, the next finished object is not for me. It's for my son's music teacher, who wanted the same beanie as I did for him several years back. So I used Fonty, and I think it was Fonty Ambiance. Yes, Fonty Ambiance in the colorway, I'm not sure, 316. The colorway 316, and a matching mohair Kido Pal in the colorway 298. And I made the soft and cushy hat because at first my son has said, can you make the same hat as you made for me? And I said, sure. And he came back a couple days ago saying, I'm not quite sure I want him to have the same exact hat. Okay for the same colors, the same yarn, but not the same exact hat. I want to keep my original hat just the way it is and just for me. So I sent a couple pictures of either patterns that were free unravel rib that I had already, looked at, or patterns I had in my library. And he chose the Soft and Cushy Hat by Pearl Soho, which is a free pattern. And it's once again half fisherman rib. So I love half fisherman rib for the cushiness and everything. And this orange, I think, is not at all in my colorway. But anyway, I'm not sure which way I should put it. And maybe because, the crown is going that way, it's like a swirl. Maybe the way I had it dry out, maybe it's better that way. Anyway, so it's a very soft and cushy hat. It's a bigger hat. It's a bit big for me because he has a bigger head than me, and I don't think orange fits me. I do like red and maybe sometimes orange lipsticks, but not for me. But anyway, this hat is gonna be very warm. Once again, very warm, very soft and cushy, and I hope he's gonna like it. I hope he's gonna like it. If not, my son will keep it. I told him if he doesn't like it, just has to keep. You get to keep it. And anyway, it's a bit bigger hat. It's for a man, so I made, I think, the 55. Something to fit a 55 centimeter head. Anyway, I absolutely like it too. I may make one for myself, make a smaller one maybe. But anyway, it's going to be very warm, or once again. And 40 Ambiance is 100% wool if I recall correctly. Yes, it's the other one that I use that is alpaca. So it's 100% wool. It's going to be, once again, so very warm and very light and very warm. I love half fisherman. I mean, this is the half fisherman season for me because the second Gujo Collar that I made half fisherman rib, this one half fisherman rib. And what I'm planning on for Christmas or New Year's cast on is making the jaunty, which is also half fisherman rib. So I really like half fisherman rib. I love this very bright color that makes a very unique hat, and I hope my son's teacher is gonna be happy enough with it. So yeah, that's my last finished object, and the sun is coming back. Okay, so that's gonna be it for today. For smaller pieces, but half fisherman takes a long time to knit. So 4 smaller pieces, but that did take quite a lot of time of my knitting time. I'm not gonna talk about my work in progress. I'm not sure that for the next video I will have anything finished. Anyway, I may squeeze in a little mindful buy because you've seen everything that I've bought. Next Friday there is a pop-up with Crystal LK in Caen, in one of the yarn stores in Caen, and I may get some more there. I may not. I'm not sure what I'm going to be doing. I talked about that already in my last video. She's selling non-superwash yarn, which I guess I'm kind of interested in to see, and I may buy from that, but from her. But I may sneak a mindful buy in the middle, so that for the end of November you have an idea, and I have an idea about what I've spent, because I think I've spent a lot. All of it was not for me, but I think I've spent a lot. So I need to have a clearer idea of where I'm going for the rest of the year and the beginning of next year. 2 of my sons have bought me books, pattern books, for my birthday. One hasn't arrived yet, but I have the other one. So I will also talk about that, and people have sent me yarn, once again, that you haven't seen, once again. So I may do a mindful buy video in between, and then I will talk about my work in progress that I hope some of them will be finished, but I doubt it because these are long-term projects. Bigger shawls, sweaters, wraps, and blanket and baby blanket. So I may have nothing finished for the next video, and I will just do a roundup of my work in progress, what I've been working on. And some of them, once again, you haven't seen me casting them on and everything. Just to say that my Ravelry profile is up to date, and I usually try to keep it up to date. And when there is no pictures, because I haven't been able to take the time to take pictures or whatever. So I think I've completed everything for now except my self-drafted socks, because I want to have one finished sock. There is not much interest into showing this in progress. So, but once I have one finished sock, I will place the pictures there too. But as far as I think, all of my projects and my stash are up to date in Ravelry. So if you are curious, you can have a look there. Health update. I'm still doing better. My wrists are not doing much better. I have custom splints that I wear for the night. I have them here. And they do fit the thumb when I sleep. It's for the night, so they fit and they stop moving around the wrist and the thumb, because I think, and it's usual that my accident, the breakage and the surgery woke up some arthritis in the thumb. So I'm gonna unscratch everything. And when I wear at night, so it fits my thumb, so I can adjust the strength here. So I can adjust the strength here, and it just helps with my thumbs, both of them, during the night, so that it reduces the pain by wearing these at night. I can have some day ones that do not take the wrists. Sorry, my son is calling me. I will have to answer. Do not take the wrists, and I can sort of work with my thumb that is in the splint. I don't have them yet because they said, okay, let's see how it goes with your wrists and your thumb wearing the night ones. And if you do need some day ones, you will have them. So that's the life update for now. My hip is doing as good as it was doing last time. And I do hope, I could not go walk on the beach or whatever. There was a lot of wind, a lot of bad weather, a lot of rain, and I said, okay, I'm not going to go walk on the beach, but I hope that if the weather is fine, next weekend I will go walk on the beach once again. So that is my life update for today. Okay, so that's gonna be it for today. I hope you enjoyed this little video that may be a little shorter, but I thought that if I was to squeeze in all of my works in progress, it would have made a very long video. And I mean, sometimes I did not think it was going to be that interesting on its own. So my finished objects for now, you will see the rest on a later video. In the meantime, I do hope that your knitting is bringing you joy and happiness, and currently my knitting and the sun is going to bring me joy and happiness. Having the sun out makes a whole of a difference in your day, right? And I do hope that you manage to find joy and happiness into your knitting. And I do hope that you manage to shield yourself when you are knitting, just for a bit, from the outside, so stressful world, and that you can create some inner peace and joy and happiness with your own craft, with your own knitting. And if you can't do it for yourself, do it for other people. Think of other people. And this is what I do. I know some of you are going through very difficult health situations right now, and I do need for you, and you need to know that I do that for you. So yes, I hope you enjoy your knitting. I hope that you like this little video. And as I said last time, I'm not sure how it came out that way, that I did love you. I do love you. I do love each and every one of you. I do appreciate your presence. The comments we have in the discussion below, and someone said, we love you too. I don't doubt that. I don't doubt that. And so I thank you a lot for being here with me once again today. And I hope I will see you next time. 2, 3, 4, 5. Top. So hello everyone. Vabeline. So Vabeline, I'm sorry, I have something here that is really bothering me. I think I have it.